podcast to everyone. I'm Ada from Poison Rock, and as my huge honor, as always, welcome here my moonsister Runahild, which is absolutely always a pleasure. And we are in a perfect timing because we are under the new moon. Everything is ready. How are you, Runahild? We have this.
I'm very good. I'm very good.
So instead of doing an interview, we're starting a ritual.
Yeah, why not?
It's always a good opportunity. And it's really how did it go last year? I mean, after the release of Wounded Dealer, that was amazing. I can't express so much. That album really helped me and other people for the healing journey they had, which is really important. And how did it go? Because of course you performed at Minger's Blood, all around the market. So how was all this year?
It's been really beautiful actually. And like you said, thank you for your words. And I have gotten all the very heartwarming feedback from other people who also can see themselves in the music or can be helped in their own journey listening to it. And it's really nice to hear. It's like kind of like the idea with sharing it. So it's nice to know that it can help give a whole space, or I don't know how people use it, but it's really nice to know that people can get kind of a support, or I don't know, energy or emotions.
Right.
Yeah. So
that's because that's what I mean. For me, when I was all the time struggling with something, because every day we struggle with something, especially when you work as a healer as well. You have to help the other, that as well, better than me. And when you have this wound inside you, and I really, especially for me, the song Womb, oh my God, that was really touching here in the solar plexus.
Oh, wow.
I felt it. And I see still today when I see, when I feel that I have this anxiety or these wounds in the air, that maybe I don't know what it is, I just put wound and immediately, when it starts releasing the trauma, everything, you're starting to cry, and because it's really easy. Yeah, that's all what you did. You did it.
But that's kind of like how I. It's interesting you say it's kind of how I work with the music. Let's say I have this, let's say, my own wounds or anxiety or whatever, and it's like, and then to release it, I create a song. And so it's quite powerful to hear that. Okay, you can hear the song and it does the same effect to you also. Opposite, kind of like because it's definitely my way to regulate emotions, to deal with my emotions, and so it's amazing when other people can use it as well in the same way. So
because it means that your message, that your emotion as well as shared by other people, but as well your music is helping people to heal. That's that I think one of the most important to do that a healer does. So you're right. So that you understand that. And of course, in the 5th of May has been released another musical piece, album, Free Spirit. And I think that I understood it came more for a collective, it's more for a collective healing, or am I wrong?
Yes, it's it's if I should say what it is about, then it's for me it's about self-discovery and acceptance and freedom. And like if you see Wounded Healer, it was about transforming your wounds, so a transformation process. But free spirit for me, it's like you come to a point where you've worked a lot with yourself, or at least for me it's like this, and I came to a point where there is just so much I can change about myself, and there is a part that I am just born this way. I am born the way I am born. I'm born different, and I'm born weird, let's say. And I guess I came to a point where instead of fighting this, instead of trying to heal to become a different person that I can never become, it's like it comes to the okay, I have healed what I can transform, or I'm not done with it, but this is about, okay, what is to be accepted about myself that isn't actually a wound, but my essence. And so this is really about this, and then and it's collective in the way that when we all come to ourselves, that's where we have our gift. To me, it's like, I think this is where we have our healing, or where we have our gift to the rest of the community, because I am not necessarily a social person or anything, but I share my music instead, or I talk with plants, and we all belong as who we are, and we are just all unique, and we are all wired, or we have different labels and whatever, but it's like, it's about how are you wired. Accept yourself, transform what you can transform, but also see who you are, and don't fight
fight back.
Come into your energy and then shine this, because this is your gift, and then therefore free spirit. Be a free spirit in this world.
That's really important, and I like to point to that as well, because like you said, is not just wounded dealer is just to healing, really a healing project, we can say. While maybe free spirit is more just, okay, we heal ourselves, so we see what's right. Not what's right, what we can heal or what we can't heal, but looking and digging in what we can heal, what is it? So we accept that, and we accept who we are, because for no matter how, like you said, we just us. I talk with the plant, and sometimes even with the drum itself, or with myself, like
exactly.
And I think I'm crazy, but it's who we are.
Exactly, and it's not crazy at all.
No, speaking with the plants is something, I think that speaking with plants is something normal. For myself, and I think for yourself, is something that is I don't want to call it normality, but it's the beauty of the nature. You can talk with it, you can as well, and you perceive the energy, because there's an answer, because plants talk with each other.
Absolutely. There is something, and I don't understand why we humans think that we are the only one communicating and having emotions and all of this. Obviously our nature is conscious, at least in my understanding. So
all the nature is talking all the time with them, throughout their own.
Absolutely. And that's also what free spirit, again, because it's about very many things, but that's also what it is about. It's about connecting, not just healing energy or energy between humans, but it's everything, because we all, it's one, we all are parts. That's what makes life, and you erase one thing from this and everything changes or collapses, or so it's not like we have to see the value in all life, and start to reconnect our is a word and I just lost it.
Our roots.
Recognize.
Okay.
Recognize the sentient beings, that it's not just us, it's bigger than us. It's plants also have animals also.
Yes, so it's like they have a soul as well.
Yeah.
Because like I always say, we are guests, especially humans are guests of the nature, because we live in it, and we are at the same level of the wild animals. We are the same level of a tree. Sometimes it's different, because we have these millennial trees, these ancient trees with centuries, and we should pay homage to that, because we are there less, we're in the world less than they are. So it's like it's like sometimes it's for people, for people sometimes to understand that is that, did you see the movie Pocahontas, when there is the oak, the grandmother oak, just they pay their homage to that? It's the same things, different cultures, but you have to pay, to not pay just homage, but as well talk, because they can teach you. It's like talking to other people. They can teach you a lot.
Oh yeah. Yes. It's a different language.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all there is. But you can learn a lot from just observing, quieting your mind, and just being a part of everything. And there is just lessons, as is the dynamic of life. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and in Free Spirit, you start with a song Within the Circle. So it's about Within the Circle. Because of course I don't want to speak about like the technical side, because It's you have just to listen and move through the technical, the music and the rhythm, but about the feeling and the energy of the song.
Yeah, for me, it's just entering. It's just really, really very literal, entering that circle of life.
Circle of
So
life.
just you start your ceremony with the awareness that you are connected to everything, and that you are your in entity, you are an individual, but you are connected to everything else, and you are not actually alone in that sense.
Yeah.
That you can feel the energies
All
of
around.
everything else somehow on some.
So it's just not like within the circle, for example, getting inside the circle, just like of a community, like people, but it's just more worldwide.
Speaker. Yeah, it's everything.
It's everything.
Timeless, without space. I mean,
yeah. Sometimes people that are like, I live in a house and I don't get out alone because except is not in the mountain. So basically just I antisocial. So just for example, for someone like me, that I think there are a lot of people out there like me or you, just they prefer, just a little bit more calmness sometimes. Being within the circle for them, it would be for me, it would be as well being surrounded by, like we say, trees or just foxes or just deer.
Exactly. Yes.
That's beautiful. And of course, just moving on with the song, like with the Babyzer. Correct me with the pronunciation.
Babyzer, it's good.
Okay, so we move with this one and the light within the dark. So they are all like kind of connected. It's like a journey going on.
Yeah, it pretty much is, yeah. And Babyzer, that is a calling. So first you kind of enter this.
Okay.
Getting the awareness of everything, and Babyzer for me is a kind of calling to all. Every and that is interspecies, right? It's inter everything. It's just everything that is, everything has a healing energy, and let's unite this, because we need to. I mean that we need to make a world that reconnects to nature, and where we start to use consciously our resources, and we need to respect life, because we simply, what is the problem in our world, we don't respect life. It's just, there's just too much on so many levels. I can't even start because it's kind of
I can understand.
But respect life, and how can we live in harmony with nature and still have our societies? How can humanity and give enough space for the wilderness, because we need it. If not, we are not alive either, because if you destroy the wilderness and the ecosystem are dying, and we die.
That's simple. Yeah, and then if you try to live in the society, you don't feel that you belong there, because it's like being in the, it's like black and white. You live or in the society or in the wilderness. It's if you try to do something in between. I mean, at least for the Western society, such really, it's tiring. Just the thought of it. Just for bringing a small example, month ago there was a bear that, a mama bear with her little bear. They're just walking on their own trial, and of course you can understand, like, people, especially from Italy, they don't care too much about where are going. Of course, if you invade her territory or maybe disturb their little bear, she's gonna attack you. So she killed that poor guy, of course, and she killed this guy, and she is being treated from Italy like she was as a murder. She's been put
like it was consciously, oh my goodness, I'm gonna go kill somebody today.
And I felt, and the day that I found out that, I felt like a part of me was dying. I mean, like, a part of me was, with that bear, and I felt so angry about it. And I thought, how am I supposed to live in a country they don't even care about? They want to kill it, and plus they want to kill all the other because they are a danger.
Yeah, exactly. Human first. The rest we don't care. And it's like, but we need to have space for everything, and it's possible. It's just we don't try.
If there are too many deers, bring that. If you're able to kill them, like, you just maybe put them asleep and move them in another place where it's without maybe wilderness.
Exactly. We have the
So that's why, I mean, the world is big. It's not just a small land. World is big. Just if something doesn't, And that's all the time that I say as well for myself. If I don't feel good, with this society, I just move. I follow the call to another place where I can, because you arrive at one point, as you say, maybe I'm not fitting with the society. So I'm gonna just live lost in the wilderness with my own life, just respecting the rule of the nature, which is the purest one. So, and just living by my own things, with my own harvest, with my own clean my own water, and that's it. And we don't have to deal with everything, all these things.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's kind of what we're doing here, but in the same time, we have to keep in touch with society, because we can't let it go to somehow I want to try to help in one way, because it fits with sharing my ideas or whatever.
But you are asking about as well, because before we continue to speak about the song, because you created a sort of scheduler, it's called scheduler,
yes,
for recording, which is pure energy and pure music coming out from there. I mean, but what is about? I mean, just to the people that maybe don't know about this, is just a studio recording, right?
Yeah, that's where I live. I call this my sanctuary and recording or creative studio. And it's just a wooden cabin, and it's off-grid, so all the energy is from solar panels. And it's on the land of an organic farm, so I'm not alone, and I live with my partner here, and we are 300 meters from the farm, and I work on the farm and everything. But we also have a little garden here, and then that's I moved to the farm now it's 13 years ago, and then I needed at some point to have my very own space, my little magical spiritual just be. So that's what it is.
And you started already to record some artists there, because I saw some artists recorded.
That's another studio. That's my partner Gustav has also a studio, but it's done on the farm, and he has artists going there and making recordings, and that's for more people, and that's for the more. Here I want to have the people who would work just with intuition, and sometimes I had a friend who was visiting me last autumn, and we had a session where we just recorded ourselves singing without thinking about, okay, what should we do? We just plugged everything and let's just start singing together, and I had no idea what we were going to sing. And then we released that song because it was so great. We were like, oh, I love the energy of that song.
Because when you create something, even if it's a space, it doesn't matter where it's settled. It can be even in the most crowded city. But when you create your own space, your own energy, which are maybe pure, of course they resonate with some certain people, and not everyone is allowed to just go there. It's like, for example, when you play the drum, you can't. I tried, I give to someone my other drum, and I felt like a piece of me was missing, and I still with the drum you're okay. Okay, because I felt, of course, the energy were as well resonating, but as well as you can understand, the energy is yours.
We are all individual on this, and I think if it's important for you to then it's just fine. I mean, I understand this. I also have some instruments I don't really want other people to play on. It's
no, maybe next time, please. Was eating at hair, and just coming back to free spirit. The fourth song is Essence. So, which essence? Because it's an essence about all of us. Or is
that? Yes, I mean, it can fit for anybody who is gonna be touched by it. That was for me. This is a bit of some songs. I know where I want to take them, and some songs, the words, I don't know what I have the energy of the song, and I don't know what words are going to come, and so I just kind of let the words come, and then basically the words came by themselves, and then I was like, oh yeah, really, yeah, there it is, that's the words I'm going to sing, and then maybe it's going to take 2 weeks, 3 weeks later or something. I'm like, oh, that's why these words. I had no idea why, but it's I love the words, so. And then later I realized, oh, okay, that then comes the depth of the experience. Why? So for me, it was. So that's kind of like I didn't really understand what the song was about when I created. I just really felt it. And it was really very powerful, and it was like, wow, that's so strong to me. I don't really know, but it's just so strong. And then like a few weeks later, then I had experiences in life where I realized what it was about. That it was about coming. And that was really about coming to my essence and accepting. That was about of accepting myself, and that there are certain things that I cannot change, and that I need to stop having an idea of who I want to become that I will never achieve, because this is who I am. I have to like, oh, okay, you are just wired differently, and it's just fine, and I'm allowed to, because I can't do anything about it anyway. And it's just fine, because you have different kind of people.
Yeah,
that was coming to my essence. That was on the personal level, but of course that can be true for anybody else. Kind of what is your essence, and to, because when you come into your essence and you're coming into your heart, to your energy, to your source power,
yeah,
and that's where you have your power. Because as long as you're trying to be something else, you're just gonna lend powers from another place. You have to come to the power you have within yourself.
Exactly, especially because if you're, I mean, because every time a lot of people, I mean, not every time, but most of the time, some people, you know, they don't accept who they are, and they try to fight all the time. I want to be the best version of myself. I want to be another person. And maybe we even forgot who we are. And instead of loving who we are, even, you know, even with the small wounds we have, just loving as well those wounds, because they made us who we are today. And all the trauma and everything, they made us who we are today. We can heal them and accept it. That's, I think, what is as well. And of course, then there is this beautiful song Aurora, and then it's the spirit. It's almost, you know, like almost going to release it.
That's also very, again, it's like Aurora and the last song Villierta were really recorded together, actually.
Okay.
And they are just a continuation of each other. And it was, there was no specific intention, but just being into the energy. And I just remember I was sitting here, and I was at the view on the mountains. I have the view from the mountains from here. So I just looked at the mountains, there was special light, and I just pressed record, and I had the synth, and I just came with a song. And then so that's kind of like how they came, both of them. And then I did like, oh, well, what are they gonna be called? Because I didn't have any specific intention. And then a few, I don't know if it's days or weeks, but sometimes later, then there was this night where we had amazing northern lights over here. And it's the first time since I moved here, I mean, in this place, that there was northern, and I've been waiting and waiting and waiting. And every night, like, so it's been like five years or something. And then finally there was like this amazing show, and it was really, I mean, I even cried because it was so powerful. It was just like, so beautiful. And so then I was like, well, this is what this song, so Aurora, it's like, because you have the Aurora Borealis, that's the name, an English name for northern light. And so I just called it Aurora because it also means awakening in one way, like the dawn and the lights shining. So that's this song.
And like you said, the other with the pronunciation is a little bit complicated. You said that they came in together. So
they were recording right after. I saw first Aurora, and then came Villierta, and Villierta, that means wild heart. So it's also being wild, being free, being connected to the weirdness, and just.
But that's what being wild ourselves, I think. You know, when you listen, I always like to imagine myself, you know, and sometimes do it, because when you listen to music, that has to do as well with the grounding, you know, meditation as well. Just move yourself. Just don't look at anyone. Just if you listen to music and do meditation, and if you want to move your body, just even being in your wild state.
Exactly. Yeah.
Or when you're playing, just don't look at anyone. Just because you are one with yourself in that moment.
Yeah.
Your higher self, your inner self is just one aligned chakra, you can say.
Yeah.
And then no one can see you, just you. So you just be wild with yourself. And because of course essence is like a free spirit version, and then there is free spirit. So free spirit is just So like a way to say, be ourselves naked into the nature.
Yeah, free spirit to me is just, I mean, it's not even words or language, that it's sound that came to me. And this is just, yeah, I mean, it doesn't mean anything specific. I just love to jam on this and just like sing it, just as it's kind of a...
Yeah, I heard that the sound as well is changing at the end. It's more like tribal, like ritualistic.
Yeah, and then I just a bunch of different weird sounds. And I was just thinking, like, why just release yourself and just make any kind of weird, whatever, witchy sound that can pop up in you. And it's just, yeah, for me, it's like it's freedom, and it's also the release of the feminine energy, because that's important to me. That because as women we've been so restricted, and so. And for me, it is like, we're free.
What the fuck, man? Go away. Leave us alone. Okay, so we're gonna dance in that song this summer, like releasing. And if a man comes by, we just say bye. Let's go. But as well, another thing that I wanted to ask you that at first I always saw, and I said, oh, what is that? Can you explain what is birch? What is used for? Because I always saw you like using this birch from the trees and boiling it, and and I wanted to ask you, what is they used for, as well, for my personal knowledge, of course.
But you think that the tree itself, like the use of the tree, or well, there are many uses in different ways. But like in every spring, I make birch syrup from the sap, and we can also drink the sap. Fresh. It's very good with vitamin C. Vitamin C and antioxidants, and it's the first source of something fresh in the spring in the Nordic country before you get green things coming like nettles and everything.
And it came from inside completely the tree.
Yeah, you have to either you cut a branch, or you make a hole, and then it just simply it drips, and it's not every tree have that can be used in that way or make so much sap. I'm not sure about that, but you can, and then you can like boil it to a syrup, and that's also one of the old source of sweets, because you don't really have so much sweets in nature here from before berries, so. And that is really a special kind of sweet, but it's really good. And then you can use the young shoots, the young leaves. You can also have it in teas. Not teas, but I'm not sure how to say it. But I will make drinks.
Herbal tea, something like that.
Yeah, and then you can use the bark of the birch for really a lot of things. Not sure where to even start, but I mean, like, you even have people in a tribe in Canada that used to make canoe with birch bark.
Okay.
So then you would basically like you would sit on birch bark. So it's quite amazing to think about it. It's just fantastic, and it's great for starting a fire. Like, birch bark is amazing if you need to lit fire. You have this kind of oil in it that takes no matter what, and it's like it's the one tree that you can lit a fire even when it's fresh.
Yeah, that's a
so if you know how to do it, you have to know how to do it. But in the north, it's a life-saving tree, and I think it's like one of the three why it's possible for people to move here in the first place, I guess. And it was definitely very important. And
that's really interesting, and of course it's important, before we go to the end of the interview, just there's something that you're gonna to do in this new moon evening, this new moon day, something that that you're personally going to do. Just celebrate.
Well, for me right now, my ceremony was to have the interview with you, because that's important to me. That's like, I get to share my little world with you.
That's always important. It's a blessing, of course.
That becomes a ceremony, because there is intention. I get to talk about the music, and that's all that means so much to me. So I'm really happy that we get to do it today. And then I'm just gonna really, after this, I'm gonna really enjoy my evening with my partner, and I'm grateful.
That's the best
ceremony.
That's the best way. Of course,
enjoy life.
The interview on the new moon, then the full moon, because we have to go with the cycle. And we will see at Midgard's we will see in France. I mean, we are going to just recall, just take the other years that we didn't see each other, and just really, with it's always like really a pleasure. That's not just a friendship, that's a connection. We are a Scorpio, Sagittarius, a lot of house in there. You have a lot of houses in Sagittarius. You have in Scorpio, so it was meant to be. I don't know. We found out these as well. They were next to us.
I have to end the interview with this.
Because
Started with it, so we must end with it.
That's beautiful.
Awesome.
Thank you for everything, really. You are a blessing, really, for your music. Everyone really is impressed by your music. But speaking for myself,
thank you.
You really have no idea how people you helped. Because when I was doing session for people, a shamanic journey, your music helped them to float. They were seeing water, like floating in the water, just as a reason of light. You helped a lot of people, really. So,
wow.
Thank you so much, and see you this summer. Yeah, see you this summer.
Yes. Yes.
Have a good day, and blessing really, moonsister. Really.
Likewise, bless new moon to you.
Have a good heart. Bye.
Bye.
Have a good day.
Runahild,